Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guest, Phil Kabler, discusses the Eighth Judicial Circuit Bar Association, how they've continued to interact throughout the pandemic, address current issues, and give back to our community. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Phil Kabler, President, 8th Judicial Circuit Bar Association, partner with Bogan Munns & Munns, adjunct lecturer, Warrington College of Business. And Phil, it's a delight to have you here, as I said. I've looked forward to this because you're a longtime friend, you and your family, and I always enjoy our conversations.
Over 25 years we've known each other.
I know. Mm-hmm. And we've had some good conversations, and in this case, I have been educating myself about the Bar Association, and I have to say, great organization. Congratulations, doing good things in this community.
We're a great group of members in our 6-county circuit: Alachua, Baker, Bradford, Gilchrist, Levy, and Union. We have about 400 members, all doing interesting things.
Yes.
We've got lawyers, we've got active judges, retired judges, law students, and retired folks as well, retired lawyers and judges as well, who are involved with us throughout the circuit.
You've got quite a mix.
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes. And so many different types of attorneys that are involved. Give us some sense of the Bar Association.
Well, our association, it's in the 8th Judicial Circuit. That's one of the many circuits, judicial circuits in Florida.
Okay.
That's how we're organized administratively, all ultimately under the Florida Supreme Court, of course. And our members are all over the lot in terms of what they practice. So we have folks who are trial lawyers, we have folks who work in all different branches of government: city, state, local, the court system, administrative offices, private practitioners such as myself, again,
right.
Private lawyers, private litigators, trial lawyers, private transactional lawyers, family lawyers, all that sort of thing. We've got members who are on faculty. So our folks are all over the place in our 6 counties.
Yes. A lot of good information to be exchanged.
Well, it's a long legacy. I mean, the law is a big
Yes.
tent, and we have people who've been members of the bar for quite a long time. And but
distinguished
then again,
careers.
We've got some of the newest. I mean, we've got a wonderful mentoring program organized by Magistrate Jody Kaysen. So that's a big interaction with the law school. And we're really big lately. We'll maybe talk about it more later.
Okay.
But we're kind of, when we're taping this now, and I know it comes out later, but we're kind of in the end of what I've been calling Town and Gown Month.
Oh, I read about that.
Organize our relationship
Tell us.
More formally with the university, with the law school particularly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have a talk with President Fox?
Well, if you want to go on to that part now, the first part was...
I've been reading your calendar. It's ambitious. You have a lot happening.
Professor Stacy Steinberg, who you also know socially.
Yes.
She wrote a book called Shared Parenting, and we wanted to help her promote her book. So she was our first speaker of Town and Gown Month. Then we had, as a special speaker, Dean Laura Rosenberry of the law school. We just had our Gloria golf tournament a couple of days, where we raised for the Guardian Foundation $15,000.
And drop back to that. That's in memory of attorney and longtime friend Gloria Fletcher.
Yes, a real advocate for children, one of the strongest in our area.
Yes.
And then we close out Town and Gown Month this week with President Fox, who's going to speak before us.
So you, as I said, an ambitious calendar. And when did you start your term? Pardon?
I started in June of last year.
Okay,
And
so-
I end in June of this year.
Right, so you're
Oh, yeah, that's right.
definitely a pandemic president.
Yeah, like lots of my friends and lots of organizations, including
Yes.
you. I forgot, we have 2 more areas of law I want to make sure they get in there.
Okay, sure.
Public defenders
Oh,
and
yes.
the state attorney's office. And actually, my successor, Evan Gardner, works in the public defender's office. So,
Yes, you embrace all aspects
all
of the law.
yeah, mhm.
Yes, can be found here among your almost 400 members. And
Correct.
I think that it's a wonderful opportunity because we're going to talk more about all the many things you are doing in this community, much more than many people realize. We're
Oh,
going
yeah.
to take a short break.
Mhm.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Eighth Judicial Bar Association with President Phil Kabler. And Phil, as we were saying, first of all, we can find your website, we can look
Yeah.
at your Facebook page,
People
check
can
that
find
out.
us, and feel free, everybody, at 8, the number 8,
Right?
jcba.org. And we have a Facebook page, which is Eighth Judicial Circuit Bar Association, all spelled out. And we put everything pretty much that we're doing on.
I've
both of
enjoyed
them.
looking through all of it.
Mhm.
And from reading about all that you do, I can see how many events outreach to our community, and that is a strong focus
It is.
of the goals of the Bar Association. So tell us about some of those.
Well, let's start with
ways
an
that you
underlying
do.
principle of our folks, is that we are good stewards of the community. Our people are
Yes.
everywhere, inside the bar, outside the bar, volunteering. So we have people who are just flat out volunteers, of other organizations, board members, just all sorts of different things in organizations, religious organizations, sports organizations. But we are community stewards.
Right.
Ultimately, that's what we do. And with the exception of our executive director, Judy Paget, we're all volunteers.
Yes.
Everyone's volunteering their time. So here's some examples of things we do.
Okay, good.
We get involved in, this mask is just rolling down, folks.
Thank you, though, for staying masked.
You never know, I may wear more than one during this program.
I'm enjoying that.
Anyway, so we're involved quite a bit in our communities. So every year, here's some things we do.
Okay.
We do for the Head Start program. It's been in Alachua County, but we've been expanding it to all 6 counties. It's called the Margaret
excellent.
Stack Holiday Drive. So
read about that.
Dominique Lockridge Gonzalez, who's our secretary and has been for a long time, organized it. We raise books and toys. And we've been doing it before now in just Alachua County, but we're
But
really
now
making
you-
an effort to expand to all 6 counties.
Very important.
As you just mentioned,
Right.
we just concluded the Gloria, which was the named in honor of Gloria Fletcher. You mentioned her. It's a golf tournament that benefits the Guardian Foundation. We raised $15,000.
So this goes to the Guardian Ad Litem program.
Correct.
Right, which of course Gloria was very much a strong proponent of.
Yes. We do a very well-known Law in the Library program where they used to be live, of course, but now
I
they're
know.
on Zoom.
We
and it's through
understand.
it's a partnership with the library, Alachua County, and we do talks on any number of matters that are beneficial to the community.
And what about this one where to help someone reinstate their
That's what I was
driver's
going to say.
license?
Judge Christine Van Voorst, county court judge, she organizes with about 25 lawyer volunteers the driver's license restoration clinic for folks who need to get that back so they can go to work.
Right.
And then we also we're very big into pro bono activities, and one of our major activities is it's a partnership of the bar, the law school, Southern Legal Counsel, and Three Rivers Legal Services, and it's called Ask a Lawyer. And it's just what it sounds like. We show up in a
Right.
variety of different places, anywhere from Grace Marketplace to Peaceful Paths to the Honor Center.
Places where people need help,
Mhm.
legal
And we
help,
give
and
them
have no
basic-
access
we give, right,
to
it's our
ask a
starting
lawyer.
point. We're involved internally with education of our members. We just recently concluded, surprising because in the age of COVID, our programs are all online right now. We have a wonderful professionalism seminar that our members get credit for, because we need continuing legal education.
Right.
And that's organized by Attorney Ray Brady, who organized that in a number of activities as a board member. He used to be one of our presidents. And a local was our keynote speaker, now Chief Bankruptcy Judge, Karen Specie, was our keynote speaker, and then we had a variety of panels on specific topics. We have guardianship trainings for folks who want to do that. And I mentioned quickly the mentoring program,
Right, yes.
which we do at the law school and the law students. Those are examples of sort of educational activities. With the Florida Bar, earlier on, under the leadership of the current Florida Bar President, Dory Foster Morales,
Right.
she did it in all the circuits, but we had our share. Early on, actually, in the program, COVID town halls, where we were talking about how folks were going to organize themselves.
Right.
And so, what they were
And
doing
to help out
cope.
during this time.
Right. Well, we've had very strong judicial leadership between now retired Chief Judge Jim Nylon
Right.
and incoming Chief Judge Mark Mosley regarding those matters. And we've got good relations. Stephanie Marchman is our Board of Governors member.
Yes, another good
And-
friend.
Yes, and Melanie Shore, who's not a lawyer, but
But-
is a member of the Citizens Advisory Council.
I
And
remember
so-
when she joined that. And there's so much to talk about. We're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Eighth Judicial Circuit Bar Association with President Phil Kabler. And Phil, I'm impressed because you're getting so much done and being such a part. Your whole organization,
the
your bar
organization.
association,
Yeah.
is doing so much in this
Our
community.
people are very involved.
And just keep telling us
So,
more.
I mean, there's other things. We had gone on, we talked a little bit about our community activities, we talked about educational activities, our involvements with the Florida Bar. I mean, other things that we do is every year we conduct for the benefit of the community. We do
Yeah.
a judicial poll, the members, and that came out recently. But we're also involved with ethics, professionalism, education, very big proponents of pro bono activities. I even mentioned some, Ask a Lawyer being one.
Right. But these are so important, and these are such trying
We're not
times for
alone.
people.
Yep, and we're not alone, by the way. We had this year, as we do many years, a medical legal partnership event, MLP, and that's Ray Brady, who I mentioned before,
Right.
who organizes the Ask a Lawyer program, also organizes this, but it's a joint event we have with the Alachua County Medical Society, and that really just went great. And by the way,
Excellent.
we are service-oriented. We are stewards of our communities, as I said. But
Yes.
we have fun too now. Because of COVID, some traditional
I
things
know.
we've had have had to be set aside temporarily. For example, we have
know.
a big Cedar Key event every year. We have an annual event with some of the other local legal organizations called the Amazing Race. All of these
That's
ones are
off.
deferred.
There's just so much you
There's
can do
spring
through
cleaning,
Zoom. And,
family, right,
Yeah.
family-friendly social, but each of those is organized by a volunteer.
okay.
And so they're ready to go for the next round. But one thing we did that was fun and wistful, melancholy, is that our former chief judge, Jim Nylon, retired. So we had an
Yes.
online, the court organized it, we had an online retirement party for him. And it was very nice, and there were lots of speakers. And I don't recall if it was at that event or at another one, but our current chief judge of our circuit, Mark
Right.
Mosley, he serenaded everyone with a song. It's called Alzumia.
I like that.
Actually, you can find it on our Facebook page, a link to Alzumia. And so we've got...
That's apropos for many situations
I mean,
these
we've got a
days.
chief judge, who sings. He plays his electric guitar and sings. Now he's very...
So we get to know the personalities. You become people. You
Our folks are
attorneys, you
people.
lawyers. We get to know more about you, and that's just a help throughout our whole community. When people connect,
Yeah.
things are better.
Well,
As you say, you
Stewards.
are stewards of this community, and you prove that with your actions through this
Well,
bar
our folks
association.
are parents,
Yeah.
neighbors, friends, volunteers, consumers, employees. We're just like any other, pick any other profession. Ours is just focused on the legal, in the legal sphere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so for our own members, because fun has been a little difficult, we used to have monthly lunch meetings.
Right.
And so we had regular ones, and we've been living on Zoom like everybody else. So we've had some great speakers. So we opened up our year with, I do business work, and so I tried to focus as much as I could. We opened up with a local, well-known author and business consultant, John Spence, who I really wanted to energize everybody, and that's John.
Yes, he
does that. Followed, I was really happy with the next month's speaker, because the next month's speaker, you mentioned I'm adjunct faculty at the business school, was one of my former undergraduate students. Her name's Perry Ann Boring. She went from Gainesville to DC, worked in congressional offices, but then she started the Chamber of Digital Commerce, which is the leading Bitcoin and blockchain association. So she and one of her colleagues talked to our members. You have to imagine folks were very interested in that. Followed her by somebody who I've really gotten to like a lot, Dory Foster Morales, who's the president of the Florida Bar. I've been lucky to meet a couple of them along the way, and I've just always I really like her. Then, once she took office in January, our traditional January meeting is called the State of the Circuit, where the chief judge talks, and that was Chief Judge Mark Mosley.
Oh.
So he talked about the program, still fairly entertaining. Then I mentioned we kind of started to get into what I call Town and Gown Month.
Right,
One of our
okay,
own.
now wait, before we continue, because this is so interesting, we have to take another quick break.
Okie dokie.
Stay with us, we'll be right back. We're talking about the Eighth Judicial Circuit Bar Association. Phil, continue on, because there's still so much more to share with us.
Well, we're talking with the programming for our members. In the time of COVID, everything's been on Zoom, but we're trying to keep value for our members, like we try for the community at large.
Exactly.
So the next speaker we had, which was in February, was our own Stacy Steinberg, a professor at the law school, recently wrote a book, and I mentioned it in the very first segment.
Yes, but
we want to try to help our own, benefit our own. Followed by, it's going to be the Friday after this is filmed, so President Fox, Ken Fox, is going to talk. And then in April, we have an annual program that we have called the Leadership, Diversity, Inclusion Forum. And,
appropriate.
Yep, and the topic this year was local leaders and how the legal community can effectuate community change. So we've got folks from a variety of different sectors.
So appropriate, so
yes,
just what our community is, you're tapping
Correct.
into the mindset of the community and your leaders in this
we have
community.
smart people who organize these events.
I can see.
And then we close out the year. We opened up with John Spence. We close with Chief Justice Charles Kennedy from the Florida Supreme Court. So that should be a very nice way to end our year. But because, again, we haven't been able to meet live, we tried to pepper in special events.
A few good things.
We had Professor Mary Adkins from the law school speak during Constitution Day. She actually talked a bunch about the Florida Constitution, is what we asked her to do. Sean McIntosh, who many people know as the mayor of Celebration Point,
Yes.
and a colleague talked about underserved business community and what can be done to assist them. Followed by somebody I know, who you know, Professor Richard Scher from the retired from the Political Science Department. He spoke just before the election. We had like a pre-game show with him. And recently, as part of our Town and Gown Month, we had Dean Laura Rosenberg. So we've had all our meetings, and we've had some extras as well to try to fill in, to add
It's
value
well-rounded.
to our, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, and I must say, because you've changed your mask, but this one is very special. Can you just mention
Sure.
the mask you have on?
This mask was handed out at the memorial service for the late Judge Stephen P. Mickle, who was a real fixture in our community, both
Yes.
in state court and in federal court. So lovely memorial service. And I can't take it off to read it, but it's a biblical quote on it.
It is, and the
And,
scales of justice.
mhm.
And it speaks, I believe, to the type of people who are part of this bar association and that are members of this legal community.
Mhm.
Certainly, he's a leader and will be missed.
Well,
And
one of the best things about
it
our
just
area,
makes you feel so good.
our Eighth Judicial Circuit, and he certainly was part of it, is known for a couple of things statewide. Our courtesy, our civility, and our professionalism. And we really focus on it. And that's how I can justify, I can make the case to the jury of you
Well said, yes.
that we are stewards of the community, all 6 counties. And again, folks, I've said it, they can find out about what we're doing anytime.
Exactly.
By our website, 8jcba.org, or our Facebook page.
Right. So you're
We're
there
out there.
for everybody to
Correct.
be a part of and to realize how they, our community, can learn from you and ask for help, and that you
And
are
work with
outreaching
folks.
to our community.
Yeah, we're happy to
So,
work with, I mean,
yes.
again, we had that event, as we do every year with the Medical Society, or frequently with the Medical Society, but we're open to partnerships of all kinds.
I really thank you for so much important information. I know we're going to run out of time because you and I love to talk. I just want to know, how long have you been a member of the Bar Association?
Oh, good Lord. I was first licensed in another state, Virginia, in 1985, and I did my young lawyer activities in the Norfolk Portsmouth Bar Association. And then I've been here in Gainesville since about 93. I did a few things at the beginning, but I started to become actively involved in the Bar Association here at least 10 years ago. I'm not really, but I've been involved personally with a number of things in the state level, and I've been focusing on the local bar in the last several years. But I've always been a member. I think it's, even when I wasn't any sort of leadership role, it's always important to be a member of the local professional organization, whatever field, lawyer, doctor, accountant.
And I agree.
Everything.
And I think we are very pleased that you have come as a guest, and as president of the Bar Association, you're a strong
pleasure.
leader, and we appreciate you and all of your members for all you're doing for
Thank you
our
for
community.
asking me to come on behalf of the organization.
Well said. I've enjoyed our opportunity to chat. And I'm so glad that you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next week. Take care.